Wife cheated multiple times on solo cruises. I am 41M, she is 44F. We have 4 children between 20 and 14, 2 of which are adults, over 18, and we live in Florida. D-Day 2 just happened. D-Day 1 happened just before my son's birthday, right before Christmas. My wife has been cheating on me for the past year during solo cruises that she has taken. She just said that she wanted to get away, and after 22 years of being together I always wanted her to have the freedom to do what she wanted within reason. She broke my trust over the last year by ensuring that she was on solo cruises and cheating on me during every birthday of our 4 children, my birthday, her birthday, and our 20th anniversary. She would go on these cruises and meet other solo travelers and invite men back to her room. From what I can tell from her conversations with other travelers and different things that she's admitted to, she had at least 6 relationships with other men during this time. From the private messages that I found and the different things that she has admitted to, I do not recognize the woman that I married. It is like the most evil and vindictive person has possessed her. She is fairly technologically savvy, so I learned most of it from Facebook messages between her and different girlfriends that she met on these cruises, but the majority of the evidence has come from her shared Google photos. Every time she took a picture with these men, it would immediately get synced to my phone. It was quite obvious that she was in love with these people. And she said as much to her friends, even asking how she can make sure not to fall in love with these men because she fell hard for 2 of them. Of course, I'm an idiot and decided to do the pick-me dance. She refused to say that she would stop seeing these other men because they are really good friends and they have the same childhood trauma as me. It turns out one of these men she fell in love with is a BDSM sex addict who is addicted to gangbangs. The other man she fell in love with is a scrawny artist who has never had a job but has a ton of money. You might be asking, why does she even stay with me? Because I sure as hell have asked the same question. She told one of her friends from the cruise that she only stays with me because I have good health insurance. This is true. And my wife does have a chronic illness that she's had her entire life that cost quite a bit of money to maintain her healthy living. So I can only take what she has said to people as the truth. She says she wants to stay with me, but her actions show different. D-Day 2 was a few hours ago. Now the second of those men is creeping his way into our lives. I went away this week for work and he decided to show up to our town saying that he's looking for someplace to live near us, and she took him out to dinner, to comedy shows, and even went to watch a sunset on the beach. All of these photos of what happened got synced to my phone in real time. It is so stupid because I want her to be the person that I knew a year ago. Although we had far from the perfect marriage, I thought we loved each other enough to get through anything. But all I can do is ask, when did she stop loving me? I don't know what to do. I'm already in counseling. I'm already going to the gym. I've already lost 30 pounds since D-Day 1. I can barely sleep. She says she wants to stay with me, but her actions show different. I don't know what to do. Yes, you do know what to do. You just don't want to admit it. What you need at this time is legal help in preparing and carrying out an exit plan. I know, all too well, the hesitation that can arise in thinking about what the cost will be, but believe me, the cost of your self-respect is not worth staying. You will be happier in the long run for getting out of your sham marriage. Story 2. Husband of 20 years had an affair after a bad year. I, 40F, just recently found out that my husband, 45M, has been having an affair with a woman at work. Something about him doing the most cliché thing in the book makes me even more angry and makes me feel like an even bigger fool. I feel like I'm in denial. This is not somebody I ever thought would or could do this. I had no inkling, and I feel like everything I ever thought about him is completely shaken. He was a good guy, somebody I completely trusted, somebody I have never once suspected of cheating on me. He was honestly my best friend, and I don't say that in the cheesy way that some married couples say that sort of thing. I trusted him implicitly with absolutely everything and felt so safe and protected by him. We've been together for 20 years, married 15. We have 3 kids, 13, 5, and 9 months. Our relationship was so good. I mean, after 20 years it's not like I get butterflies every time he walks into the room, but yes, sometimes I still did. I continuously has moments where I'd think I'm the luckiest girl in the world to have him as my partner. At times I've thought one of the only things I've done right is pick a great husband and give my kids the best dad I possibly could give them. We get along, we like doing some of the same things, not one of those couples who obsessively has to do everything together though, and we have our own hobbies and own friends too. We can disagree on some things without it turning into fights. We still had sex regularly. I thought we had a happy, healthy home. But then the past year and a half happened. First, we had an unplanned pregnancy, and then his brother died unexpectedly. I've sensed that something about our relationship changed sometime during my pregnancy, but I couldn't put my finger on it, and admittedly I didn't really talk to him about it. He changed this past year. It was as if he was still trying to pretend to be himself and doing a pretty good job at convincing some people, but he just wasn't the same happy person I've known him to be. He used to be a glass half full sort of person, positive, motivated, energized. It was the most difficult year as far as our relationship goes. There were no big fights or anything like that, but overall there was less affection, more minor bickering, more time spent separately, more just getting under the other's skin. I was waiting for him as soon as he came home from work on the day I found out about his affair. I confronted him right away. Since then, I've read all about keeping your cards close to your chest and not letting your cheating spouse know that you've discovered them until your ducks are in a row. Screw that. I was sobbing and seething, and there's no way on earth I could have pretended to not know for a minute, let alone weeks. He cried, he said he was sorry over and over again. He said he loves me and he loves our kids, and he made a really stupid mistake. It wasn't a mistake. It was a conscious choice over and over again. He begged me not to leave him. He knows he was an asshole and he never wanted to hurt me. He said he had a bad year and the affair was nothing more than an escape for him. He's not in love with her. He said nothing made him feel happy this year and he was in a fog and made this bad decision. He swears he's never cheated on me before, that I'm the love of his life. He doesn't know what he was thinking, but he was just so not himself this year. Yes, his assessment on not being himself is the only part one can agree with. We were done having kids but didn't take any permanent steps to prevent it. Surprise, at 39 years old I experienced the first unplanned pregnancy of my life. Ultimately, we decided to have the baby. It was a joint decision. At the time, it seemed like I was the more undecided one. He just naturally seemed to assume we made a baby, so we're bringing it into the world now. I gave birth the same week I turned 40. The decision definitely changed some plans we had, and it has changed things for us financially. I left my job when our youngest was born. I was extremely unhappy and very stressed with my job, constantly having to bring work home and works well beyond 49 hours a week. It was really unhealthy for our family, and he expressed concern that he didn't know how I'd be able to handle the stress of my job and a baby. I felt the same, as I already felt like I was slipping with everything in my personal life because of this job. I just refused to quit previously because the pay was so good and didn't want to give that up. He makes a good living. He's been with the same company for 25 years, since he was in college. But I know he feels stressed and like he has a big responsibility being the sole provider now. Then his brother died unexpectedly this past year. He's devastated by it, but trying to pretend like everything is fine. I think he fears if he lets himself truly feel all of the emotions over it, he will completely fall apart and not be able to function. These are feelings he expressed to me a long time ago about other difficult things in his life. He just feels he always has to be the strong one soldiering on for everyone else, but it's really affecting him. His parents are just a mess over it, and we've had to take on sole duties of helping them. They're divorced, so two separate households. I just don't know what to do. On one hand, I want to divorce him. I always thought if somebody cheated on me there would be no second chances. I feel really strongly about cheating and that it's always wrong and unforgivable, full stop. Now, I don't feel 100% sure about leaving. I still love him. I love our family. The thought of divorce terrifies me. The thought of not being with him terrifies me. I can't imagine him not being my husband anymore. Update. My husband's AP showed up at our house. I posted for the first time about my husband's affair with a coworker almost a month ago. Since then, I've been on a roller coaster of emotions. He's been acting like the perfect, loving, dutiful husband. Although he still hasn't quit his job. He's worked there 25 years and he has it too good there, he's not leaving, his words. It's a point of contention still. I swear sometimes it's like he's more loyal to the company and his job than he is to me, our marriage, and our family. He swears that's not the case, but his actions say differently, don't they? Despite that, he is opening up to me emotionally. Not that it's an excuse, but he has a lot of pent-up emotions about things that have happened over the past few years and he's never properly addressed them. He's agreed to get therapy to help him find healthy ways to deal with life, rather than sleeping with a much younger woman at work. I told him that I can't guarantee this is going to work. I'm not promising anything and I reserve the right to decide I can't do this and to file for divorce at any time. I do think he loves me despite what he did. Maybe I am an idiot and will regret this. I don't want to give up on our marriage yet. I love him. I still think we have something special and I cringe when I say that because I could turn out to just be a fool when all is said and done. I believe him when he says he was never planning to leave me for this woman, she was just a distraction, and that he doesn't want to lose me. We want our family to remain intact. We've been having excessive amounts of sex, which I've come to learn is a thing in these situations. I even took Plan B for the first time in my life. We did not have a dead bedroom prior to this. I thought our sex life was really good. Now it's like embarrassing to even admit how often we're doing it. So to the point of this post. I was feeling pretty happy, like he agreed to go to therapy, he's opening up to me instead of trying to keep up his stoic facade. I smiled for the first time in ages. Things weren't fixed, but I felt okay. One day, in the middle of a weekday when my husband was at work, I got a knock at the door. It was the person he's been having his affair with. She came to my house. I'm still in shock. She had the guts to knock on my door. I wish I had never answered it, but I wasn't going to let her think I was hiding from her. Hair done, nails done, makeup, a relatively sexy outfit for the office, and standing there practically twirling her hair like a little girl. I am not exaggerating. I was almost too shocked at her mannerisms to say anything. I think playing the innocent attractive bimbo airhead must be her shtick because that's how she was acting. Just when I thought my husband and his workplace affair couldn't get more cliché. This woman had a supervisory role at work and I'm dumbfounded. She came to apologize for what she did with my husband. She told me she's married too and she understands. Understands what exactly? Then the most unbelievable part, she said your husband is just really hot and I was so attracted to him and I made a mistake. I didn't mean to hurt you. She told me my husband is really hot and she couldn't help herself. Who has the audacity? How I didn't slap her I still do not know. She then told me she wants me to know that she's looking for another job somewhere else and she promises to not talk to my husband again while she's still working there. Did he write her a script and tell her to come here and recite it? He's so hot and now she's looking for another job? I couldn't get over the shock of how she looked, with her weird schoolgirl way of speaking along with her mannerisms. My mouth was probably hanging open the entire time she was talking. It's one of the strangest things that's ever happened to me. I told her that I think she'd better leave my front porch and property immediately. I closed the door on her. I didn't give her the satisfaction of forgiving her or thanking her for apologizing or for looking for a new job. Of course afterwards I was kicking myself because that's when I thought of all of the perfect things I could have said to her, but I was too caught off guard. I had seen a picture of her on the company website and I had tried spying on her social media but it's set to private. I wasn't expecting her to look how she looked in the flesh though. So that had set my husband and I back a bit. I keep replaying the interaction in my head and I can't get over it. This was last Friday.